All right, guys. Before we get started with our discussions and stuff, I would like everybody to write on this. Go. This is very, very, very important for you guys. So make sure to write on this. All right, guys. We're gonna get started. First question: how did Aubrey do? Was it easy?
Yeah.
Of course, basics she was teaching you guys, but you'll be surprised how many students are actually not doing well in the real question and these stuff. Was she able to explain things good? Okay. Next question is, how's the homework situation? How many of you have done all the homework? Everybody here, excellent. We're all impressed. How about online students?
I did.
1, 2, 3. You guys have to do the homework, okay? Homework is so crucial. So we have finished this is our fourth class. Let me actually quickly read, go through the roster quick. Josh,
Here.
Peyton,
Here.
Ava, Trinity, James,
Here.
Sam,
Here.
Braden, okay. Sophie, Maureen,
Here.
Eli,
Here.
Max, Kate, Tyra,
Here.
Carson, Lucas, Hemingston,
Here.
Lucas, Chase,
Here.
Mac, Drake.
Here.
Okay.
Here.
Yep. Good. All right. So today we're going to start with ACT Science. Before we go to that one, is there any here who have taken the real ACT test? 1, 2, 3. How about online? Is there any students who have taken the real test? 1. Only 1. Okay. So James, you tell me, when you took the test and when you got to the science section, how were you feeling?
There's a lot of graphs, a lot of charts and stuff, which was, I mean, it was like a little intimidating at first, I guess, since there was so much information.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, I'll be honest, I didn't do that great since it was my first time.
Uh-huh.
But like, if you like read through it, or like, don't really reread through it, but try to remember the most important stuff about it, then you should be able to do pretty well on it. I remember.
Did you feel tired?
Around the end, yeah, I did feel tired.
Come. How about you guys? You guys too?
Yeah, by the science test, I was just completely worn out. I couldn't really focus.
Yeah, that's what happens, right? It's a 3-4 hour test. This is a long test. So if you are not focused and if you have not practiced long practice tests, it really becomes hard. Really becomes hard. So I just want to be very upfront on this. And one of the student was asking that section, the other group, why didn't they do the science to begin with? Why did they put science last? Well, they want to know when you're under pressure, under stress, how well you're able to comprehend the information. That's the whole reason of why science is last, not science is first in the ACT test. So, to minimize some of the stuff these guys talked about, there are some strategies you can use, and we have been using these for the last 13 years. And we had ridiculously high science scores. Just last year, we had 3 students go up by 9 points in science. 9 points. I don't know if you guys can put a value to it. One had a 25, went to a 34. One had a 21, gone to a 30. One had an 18, went to a 27. Just to give a dollar conversion to it, the student just on science score, who went from a 25 to a 34, that student went up, just on science, went up his scholarship by $28,000. $28,000. try making that $28,000. You'll find out how difficult it is to make $28,000. Sounds good? So that's after taxes, by the way, if you want to know. So it's science can make and break a lot of things, especially the scholarship. So let's do a first study on math versus science comparison, these two graphs here. And you should ask questions. They actually ended up asking a lot of questions, so it was fun. So you have a choice. Again, I can take the horse to the water, can make it drink, same here. It'll be fun to ask questions, so I can give a lot of examples. Or the 6,000 students we had, I can tell you what students have shared with me. This is math, this is science. In math, you start with the easy question, kind of linearly increases to 60 difficulty level. Okay? So it becomes easy to start with question number 1 in math and then go up to 60. Right? Common sense would say that. First 20, next 20, and next 20. But in science, there is no guarantee as such. Well, it may be, in one test, it may be easy to begin with and goes to difficult, which is I've never seen it like that. Or the other example would be, you start with the very high difficulty level passage 1, go to easy, medium, very hard, very easy. You with me on this? So it's all over the place. So you do not know when you walk into science test whether you're going to get what type of passage you're going to get. You have absolutely no clue. So our strategies have worked wonders for a lot of people. And the strategies we talk about has worked for around 95 to 98% of the students. The remaining 2 to 5% of the students have used their own strategies, which we're totally okay with it. What I'm not happy about is when people pick our strategies plus their own strategies and mix them together and make it a horrible cocktail. That doesn't taste well, by the way. And we don't want you guys to do that mistake. Pick your if you stick to this, practice this way. If you don't want, use whatever you want, but don't mix and match. Just like reading, ACT Science has 35 minutes, 40 questions, so 52.5 seconds per question. So this is the same for reading. Got it? In reading, how many passages do you have? 4. Science has 6. It used to be 7. Now it's been 3-4 years now. It's been 6 passages. So you can have either 6 questions or 7 questions per passage. So they have reduced the number of passages, so you have more material per passage now. Sounds good? Okay. What are the complaints I hear? The 2 most? Very tired and I'm running out of energy. This is the 2 most common complaints I get. Of course, some people also say they're hungry and all those things. That's true. If you don't eat during the break time, you will get very hungry. When you're hungry, you cannot focus. When you're not focused, you will make silly mistakes, just things you can't even imagine. And we talk about the break time sometime in the last few weeks of the semester. What you should do during the break time, okay? Because every minute is crucial. Every point is crucial. So, there are 2 things we really focus on. You have to practice before the test, the full test. Because you got to know how it feels when you take the science test as part of your full-length test. And it's not a pleasant experience. Don't think that I was like in the, yay, full test today. Don't think I was excited to take any of these full tests. Just like you guys, I absolutely hated it. And I don't think so anybody I know who is excited to take a full ICT practice test at home. If he or she is excited, they have much bigger issues. Okay, so I just want you to know that. Okay, and you need to have focus during the test. Of course, easier said than done. But these 2 decides your science score. So, what strategies have worked over the years? Here you go. Listen. When the supervisor says to start the science test, approximately 45 seconds or so, scan all 6 passages. When I say scan, I literally mean like flipping the pages, like, sounds good? And anybody who does that are New Horizon students. That's the way to easily determine. If you want to know New Horizon students, wait till science test. Every single one will do that because it has worked. Sounds good? So, but when you flip the pages, and you'll practice enough here that you know what rate to flip the pages so that you don't take too much time or too less time. Because in that 45 seconds, you'll have to select the first 2 passages you will start with. How many? 2. Don't worry about 6, only 2. The first 2 you would do. And the criteria is here. You're looking for least reading. So lesser the reading, that's the one you should pick. Least tables. So tables are always a pain in the butt, okay? You don't want too many passages with tables. Tables are, people think if they're easy, they get pretty interesting. Graphs are good. You want to have more graphs and more pictures. And the discussion type, also called the conflicting viewpoint passages, should be done last. Because they have no graphs, no tables, nothing. They're just like a reading passage. Okay? This resembles a ACT reading passage. And it takes time. They're very time consuming. Because they're conflicting, they're fighting with different people. Scientist 1 says this, scientist 2 says this. So they're fighting, so you'll have to understand what they're fighting about. So it's gonna take a long time. So you wanna do this last. Immediately, of course, those guys, they ask a lot more questions than you do, just a FYI. So they asked me, so what happens if there is less, a passage has very less reading but have a lot more tables? Then which one should I pick? Well, at that time, a common sense should prevail, okay? It's a common sense that should prevail and say, okay, what does it look better to do first? Because you do not know what the passage is about. You just start making the decision in 45 seconds. You with me on this? So you don't have time to sit there and look at the passage. You don't. You're coming to a conclusion based on and more you do, more practice you do, you kind of get to, by the time you get to the December test, you know, okay, this is the one I need to pick. Sounds good? More you do, less you have to worry about the test day. Less you do, definitely you'll worry that day because you'll be so confused which to pick first. Sounds good? So this is all we're gonna focus before even the first question is done, okay? Then for tables, there are 2 types of tables. Data table and a word table. You wanna pick tables, remember tables should be done last, but if it has to eventually get to that point, you want to pick database tables, not word-based. And then you want to pick small tables, not large tables. 2 small tables is better than 1 large table because it's easier to comprehend. Excuse me. Comprehend small passages than large table. I cannot emphasize enough the significance of the last 20 minutes. You guys have no idea what you just learned till you have somebody else who have not gone through these strategies and will tell you how they felt in the test. So you have nothing to compare with. But I had students who have not used and who have used. This is significant. But it all works good if you have practiced this stuff. Is there a radio going on, something like that? Could you turn it off, please? Oh, it's been going on for a while? Come on, guys. You can, there's something called an off button. You can just press it off. It's like somebody's singing really well. All right, thanks. You guys get the point? Okay. Now, this is once we get to the questions, by the way. Okay? Always do the easier passage first. That's common sense. prefer scanning the passage versus reading the passage because you don't have time. Read only when needed. Avoid rereading. I've seen people read the same line passage because they will be so distracted and so in their own loop that, it has happened to many, right? And even in the, if you're reading a novel, like, okay, you're tired and you read it, or like, I don't get it, and you read it again and you keep reading it. You do not want to get stuck in that infinite loop of rereading the same line. Okay, get out of that one. This is a huge one for me, and these guys are still learning. Many of those students in that group have gone through this class, and they are slowly realizing the significance of this. And I can tell you, I'm not only telling you this as an ACT class, even when you're in college, you need to have these test-taking strategies, and one of them is to underline the key terms. Boy, it's gonna make a difference, especially time tests. It should be a habit. It should not be a force. Till today, I read so many documents as in college and stuff like that. It's a natural habit for me. I do not go out without a pen. It's just, you give me a document, I start writing down notes or underlining, because then I know what to focus on, what that sticks out. So this is something we're gonna get to that later on, okay? But right now, we'll practice today which two passages we need to pick first, okay? And you'll be surprised, by the end of today, if not today, maybe end of next week, you guys will be pretty close actually to picking the right passages. By the end of the semester, 4 in 5 of our students end up picking the first 4 passages correctly, and which is what I'm hoping for. Sounds good? There's no right or wrong answer because there's nobody else for you to compare with, am I right? So if he goes 1-2 and I go 2-1, he doesn't know that. But I hope that you have practiced enough that you know what's correct and what's not so correct. Fair enough? And I'm telling you guys as a friend here, if you take this seriously and practice it, this can be a game changer for you guys. If you don't give serious consideration, I think, it may surprise you guys. It may definitely surprise you. So if I were to you, I would take this very seriously. Go and get blue book, please. And of course, no calculators are allowed. So, page 808. I think I remember this page number, to be honest. All good? 808. Do not start anything, just hold on to it. Now, remember I was telling you, this just happened in 2018 or so. This book has, each test, science test has 7 passages. So you have 7 in this book. I'm gonna give you guys 1 minute time, a little bit more time than this. You need to select only the first 2 you would do. How many? Only 2. Okay, it can be 1-2, 2-1. 1-2 is different than 2-1 according to me, because you do not want to start with a harder passage. Always start with the easy passage first. So you have 45 seconds. Your time starts now. I'll give you 1 minute, okay? Take your time, flip through the pages. You're only selecting the first 2. right, 1 minute. Of course, by the time the end of semester, you'll be doing this in 30 seconds. Let's start with online students. Anybody online, pick the first two you would have done. More you participate, better it is for us. Otherwise, it really becomes hard for us to just keep going this way. So,
5 and 7.
max is 5 and 7. Okay, next. Anybody else? Online?
3 and 5.
3, 5. Okay. Anybody here? Yeah.
5 and 2.
5 and 2. Next.
5 and 3.
5 and 3. Next.
3 and 2.
3 and 2. Next.
7 and 2.
7 and 2. Next.
5 and 7.
5 and 7. Next.
3 and 2.
3 and 2. Next. Okay, let's see. I wouldn't do 1. 2 is not bad. 3 has a lot of reading, guys. I would not do 3. 4 is bad. Tables. 5 is really good. 1 picture and very few lines to read. 6 is not good. 7. I would do 5, 7. I'm okay with 2. Definitely not okay with 3. 3 has a table with words. Not good. 5 and 7 is a way, way better option than anything else in this one. They had a lot of conflicting issues where we could do 1, 6, 6, 1 for them, and it was kind of tough one. But here we have a clear winner. And again, there's no right wrong answer because you have nobody else to compare with. Am I right? If you want to go 3-2, sure, go 3-2. Nobody will know that. On page 808, go ahead and write down 5-7 just for we being consistent this time, so that we are all on the same page. 5-7. All right. I'm gonna give you guys now 30 seconds to pick the next two. So we have picked 5-7. Now you're gonna pick the next two. Go. Okay, time's up. Tell me, 5-7, next what? Everybody needs to participate, otherwise, eventually this is gonna come back. It's not gonna hurt me, it's gonna hurt you guys. Yeah,
3 and 4.
huh? 3 and 4, you
Oh.
said?
Oh, 2 and 3. So
2 and 3. Anybody else? Yeah,
2 and 4.
2 and 1.
not 1.
What? Oh, I'm sorry.
One is this one.
Oh, duh. Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I won't do 1.
Oh.
Yeah, any other combinations? Let's see. 2 is not bad. Which one did you say?
2 and 4.
I would have done 2, 3. How many have 2, 3? Okay. Because 4 has a large tables and there have words and terms and stuff. You want to avoid it. Really want to avoid it. So we have 5, 7, 2, 3. So make sure to write it down so that we stick to that order. So now we are left with 3 of them, right? 1, 4, and 6. So which one do you pick? What's the order now? Go, let's go, quick.
641.
641. Yeah, see that 4 really, so 641. So it'll be 5723 641. This is what we call the kind of science code for this passage. Sorry, science order. And every single time this will change. And every time you gotta get this correct. Because, especially the first 4 out of the 6, boy, you do not want to get stuck early on a tough one, because it's gonna drain your time. It really does, and you will not realize it till when the supervisor says 2 minutes left, and like, oh my goodness. And this happened many a times. That's why I usually start science in the 3rd class. That was last week, but we had the Labor Day, and we just didn't. But so usually it's 3rd science, 5th science, but we're gonna do 4 and 5 science. Even next week will be science. So you guys will drill down in terms of practice so that you know exactly what to do. There should not be any surprises when the science test starts. Sounds good? I'm going to open page 723. All right, this is another science test. Now let's get a little bit more technical now, okay? Let's get more real serious. So I'm gonna give you exactly 45 minutes. Time starts now. Pick the first 2. Gotta show some desperation. Use common sense. Time's up. Initially, you may feel rushed. After doing for a while, it becomes so easy that you'll get it done easily in 40 seconds, okay? Online students, somebody tell me what's the first 2 you picked? Online students? Here, anybody? Yeah,
5 and 6.
next. Yeah,
6 and 5.
6 and 5.
6 and 3.
6 and 3.
6 and 4.
6 and 4.
3 and 6.
3 and 6. Okay. 1 I wouldn't do. 2 no. 3 no. I don't know who said 3, but oh no. 3 has a very less reading, but it has huge tables which has reading in it. That's a double whammy, by the way. That's exactly what they want you to fall trap into, is 3. Where you think, oh, it's only little reading, then they'll take you for a spin. 4, okay. 5, good. 6, good. 7, okay. I would do 5, 6. Only because 5 has graphs. 6 has only one small table, which is numbers. You guys have to be comfortable with my reasoning though. If you're not comfortable, rebuttal it. Prove me wrong, right? Just say why. Just don't blindly accept it. You guys are going to be thinking adults, right? Thinking college students pretty soon. Don't accept blindly if you're not convinced. Right on 723, passage 5 and 6. Again, this is just for a practice we're doing it. But in the real test, you'll have all your freedom. I'm going to give you guys 30 seconds for the next 2. Go. Time's up. Let's go. Yeah.
4-7.
Huh?
4-7.
4-7 next. 7-4 next.
2-4.
2-4 next. Okay. I wouldn't do 2. 4 is okay. I would do 7-4. I'm okay with 4-7 with 2 small tables. It's just that 7 has a little bit more reading, but a 1 table and a graph. It's kind of tough between 4 and 7 and 7-4. You see that? At least you should be able to comprehend your reasoning. If you don't have your reasoning, that means you're, it's a crapshoot then, which is the most dangerous thing you want to be in. That's why people cannot forget this. This is a guideline, not a principle. You create your principle based on this guideline. Make sense? Okay. Let's decide the next 3. Tell me. Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Next. We're left with 1, 2, 3, right? I would do 2, 3, 1. Sounds good? So how many tests we have done so far? 2. What have we done so far? Select the passages. Have you started the test? No. That's the easy part. This is the hard part. Getting this correct is so damn important. And there will be some tests, if you're unlucky by the way, where all will be easy or all will be tough. I've seen it happen. I think it was recently. Was it April, I believe, or I think April or June, where everything was like the same thing. Even there was no discussion type at all. Everything looked the same. So then many of them have done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is okay if that is the case. But 99% of the times that doesn't happen. Okay. Now let's go to the next test, page 635. But here's a different challenge this time. Page 635.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Here's what's gonna happen. I'll give you guys 1.5 minutes. You decide the entire 7-passage order on your own. You with me on this? 1.5 minutes. Your time starts now. You have enough experience now to know what needs to be so don't rush, you have time. Use up the full time, get this correct, or as correct as possible. Use common sense, know the guidelines here. Time's up. 1.5 minutes. Somebody read their order. Yeah, slowly so that everybody can hear you.
3, 7, 6, 1, 5, 2, 4.
Okay, one more time.
3, 7, 6, 1, 5, 2, 4.
Okay. Yeah.
3, 1, 7, 6, 2, 5, 4.
Pretty close. Anybody else?
3, 1, 7, 6, 5, 2, 4.
Oh, pretty close. Okay. Let's see. Oh, three has to be the number one. If you picked, and I've not seen the rest, but I can tell you, if you've not picked three, three should be first, four should be last. 5 is not bad. 6 is not bad. So, I would do 3, 7, 6, 1 or 1, 6. 5, 2, 4. So 5, 2, 4 is a guaranteed. 3 is the first. So 3, 5, 2, 4. This order should not change. The rest in the middle are kind of be tricky. Maybe 1, 7, and those. You see what I'm saying? Okay, so imagine this. Imagine passage 2. Let's say you don't know these rules. You don't the strategies. So you do passage 1, which is not too bad, by the way, right? Then what happens in passage 2? You would be stuck. It will drain your time, drain your confidence, drain your energy, and that will take you to the next passages where you're going to start making silly mistake. This is going to be a trap. Passage 2 is going to be a big trap. You guys with me on this? Don't want to. So the trick about taking ACC science test is not to fall into trap. Then when you don't fall into trap, this is not too bad. When you fall into even one trap, this becomes a monster, a big hurdle. Sounds good? We'll be doing science again next week. Keep doing the homework. Stay safe. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye. See you guys.